Hello, I'm Professor Patricia Rolling, and I'm teaching this online Psychology 100 course. For this course, we will be using Launchpad as the course management system. We will be using this instead of Moodle or any other course management system you've used before. In this brief video, I'd like to introduce you to Launchpad and show you some of its features. Now, when using Launchpad, always use Firefox as your browser. This is the most efficient browser to use with this program, and it works best with Firefox. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the format of Launchpad. Once you sign on to Launchpad, you will see the assignments that are coming due within the next week. If you click on any module, you will see the readings. You can click on those to go to the readings. You will also see the different assignments that are due and the points that are assigned to those assignments. The due date for each assignment is by midnight on the night this posted. However, I give you a 2-hour extension for both learning curve and the summative quiz. Those are due at 2 a.m. the next day. You also can monitor your grades using Launchpad's gradebook. In order to get to the gradebook, click here. Here you will see all the assignments, whether you've completed them, and if you have, what your score is. You can work ahead. In fact, I recommend that you work ahead. I predict that it will take about 5 or 6 hours per day to complete your assignments. So if you work ahead, you can get a little bit of wiggle room. However, I will not grade the assignments until their due date. And if an assignment is turned in late, you will get no credit for that assignment. So be sure to get them in on time. Now, in terms of how you'll be graded in this class, all of the Launchpad assignments together will account for 55% of your grade, and each module has several Launchpad assignments. There are going to be a minimum of 2 Launchpad assignments per module, and you will have several modules per day. So for each module, you will be assigned learning curve. Learning curve consists of randomly selected questions. You must complete learning curve by 2 a.m. the day after it was assigned. So you'll be given several randomly selected questions, and you continue answering these questions until you reach a target score. Once you reach that target score, you get 100% credit. So as long as you work diligently on learning curve, you will get 100%. Each question that you answer correctly will give you some points. You can ask for hints. You can make guesses and try again. You get fewer points if you ask for hints. You get fewer points if you make an incorrect guess. But in the end, when you do get it correct, you will get some points. Also, the harder questions you will get more points for. The easier questions you'll get fewer points for. If you've read the material and you understand it well, it will not take you long to complete learning curve. If it's material that's difficult for you, or if you haven't read it, it may take you quite a while to complete learning curve. But when you have completed it, you have demonstrated a mastery of the material. I suggest reading the material, and when you're through completing learning curve, do not try to complete it before you've read the material, or do not try to skim through the material as you do learning curve, for it will take you much longer that way. For each module, you will also have a summative quiz, and I recommend that you take the summative quiz at the very end. The summative quiz also consists of randomly selected questions. Every student taking this online class will get different questions in this summative quiz. You will be given 2 minutes per question. So again, I recommend you read and comprehend the module before you take the quiz. If you try to take the quiz and page back to find the answers, you will not have enough time to complete the quiz. And this quiz must be completed before 2 a.m. of the day after it was assigned. You'll only get one opportunity to complete the quiz. There are other Launchpad assignments, but only the learning curve and the summative quiz will be assigned for every module. You also may be assigned other assignments, and all of these assignments are due at midnight. You do not have the extra time for these other Launchpad assignments. One of the assignments is called Concepts in Action. This is an interactive program which explains a concept, and then you engage in activities that illustrate the concept. You're able to correct your responses, so if you get something incorrect, Concepts in Action allows you to go back and change it, and you can do that until you reach 100%. There's also Video Toolkit. This consists of watching a video and then answering questions after the video. You will only get one opportunity to respond to the questions. There's also Psych Investigator. Psych Investigator activities involve participating in an experiment, and then following your participation, you will answer a quiz. Like Video Toolkit, with Psych Investigator, you will only get one opportunity to respond to these quizzes. You cannot go back and change your scores. There is also a program called Psych Sim, and this is a very interactive program. It goes into a little bit more depth on one of the topics that you've studied in the module. Psych Sim will explain these concepts, and again, it will quiz you afterwards. You'll only get one opportunity to complete this quiz. So again, for each module, you'll be assigned Learning Curve and the Summative Quiz. In addition, you may also be assigned one of these four activities: the Concepts in Action, Video Toolkit, Psych Investigator, or Psych Sim. And all of these assignments together will make up 55% of your grade. There's also a midterm, which will be 15% of your grade. Because most of the activities you'll be involved in are as multiple choice quizzes, I've decided to make the midterm and the final essays. This will give you another mode in which you can be evaluated. For the midterm, you will be given approximately 25 potential questions. You can select 10 essay questions to answer. Note, however, that you must use material from the textbook to answer your questions. If you use Google or another search engine to answer your questions, and your questions do not match with the material we've covered in the textbook, even if those answers are correct, you will not get credit for them. You must go back through your text and use that material to answer the questions. The final is also worth 15% of your grade, and again, it will be the same format. You will select 10 essay questions out of potential 25 or so questions. And just like the midterm, you must use material from the text to answer your questions. This is a Social Science 1 course, which means that there must be a lab component, and indeed there is a lab component in this class, and the lab will be worth 10% of your grade. The lab will involve participating in a study and then writing up a lab report. All of the information you will need for participating and writing up this lab report will be on Launchpad. And finally, there are discussions. There will be 2 discussions each week, and altogether those discussions will account for 5% of your grade. Each week you will have both a small group discussion. I will assign everybody in the class to a small group of 4 or 5 students. In participating in the small group discussion, you will write a response to a discussion question. Then the next day you must return to that post and read the response of one of the members of your group and respond to that student's post. So these weekly small group discussions involve 2 steps. First, responding to the discussion question, and second, going back, reading your group members' responses, and writing one more response. There will also each week be a large group discussion, and in the large group discussion you will read the question and write a response. You are not responsible for going back and responding to another student's response. As this pie chart shows, a slight majority of your grade will be based on Launchpad quizzes and exercises. The midterm and the final then account for the next significant part of your grade. Then comes the lab report, and then come discussions. Okay, I hope you enjoy this class. I think you're going to find Launchpad to be an easy and excellent program for an online psychology class like this. If you have any questions, I will be available via email. via Skype and also by phone. So please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or concerns.